Youngster You.
Vancouver-based recording artist Known has been very busy recently. He's fresh off a first headliner back and an EP and music video release with more exciting announcements to follow. And today I'm here with Cody, the man behind the mic, to talk about his time in the world of music thus far. Cody, thanks for being here, man.
Dude, thank you for having me, man.
Of course.
Great to meet you.
So first, I just want to lay some groundwork. I think you released your first single in about 2018, and even for a debut single, it sounds really solid. So this is kind of a broad question, but how exactly did you get your start? Like, what's your origin story?
Oh, the origin story. So basically, I grew up on heavy metal. My dad is a huge metalhead, and so I grew up on Megadeth and Slayer and
Awesome.
the big four, Metallica and all them, and Anthrax. And so I was super into heavy metal. And then my sister, I was also super into basketball, and so my sister bought me NBA 2K12.
Nice.
I just fell in love with the soundtrack. It was a song by this artist named XV. He's from Wichita, Kansas.
Okay.
And artist named XV, and the song's called Awesome. It was actually featuring Pusha T. It was a rap song.
Oh, cool.
And so when I was 12, so I just decided to start trying to rap. Really bad for a lot of years. It was really bad. And then when I was 17, 18, I started taking it more serious. And that's when I got the attention of a local guy named Snack the Ripper.
Oh, cool.
He took me on tour, 47 shows, and in 2 months over, as soon as I graduated high school. It was a super cool experience.
Wow.
And yeah, so I was rapping for a while, and then COVID obviously happened, and then I had a crazy experience with acid at one point, and it just switched my vision of what music was to me and what I wanted to achieve with music. And then I started making pop music.
Wow.
In indie pop music stuff. And now here we are 2 years after I started making indie pop, and now it's flourishing, which is super cool.
That's a great story. Yeah. And that's I was going to say something about that. It's a noticeable shift from mostly just rap to then you have a lot more vocals, and you can definitely tell that it's more focused on the indie pop type stuff.
Absolutely.
So that's cool. It was acid. So
acid, honestly, it was the worst experience I've ever been through in my life, which it's crazy, because the way I started making pop music was I made a rap album called Paradise Park.
Right.
And it was signed to a local label here in the Vancouver area. And we had one more session left, but the album was already finished. So let's just mess around, and we'll just see what happens. And so I made this song called Candyland. And then the same session I made my first indie pop song. My friend came and dropped me off the acid. So and then a week later, me and my friend did it. It was a very bad trip. I ended up getting into going into psychosis for a month.
Damn. Wow.
Very, very bad. And then I did a bunch of therapy. I did a bunch of I had to go on anti-anxiety medication and stuff, but that's besides the point. And then anyway, so it's just kind of crazy that the same time I made the complete switch, the first song I made for that switch is when acid was introduced. I never did it again. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any drugs, nothing like that, because that one experience was really bad. But to me, it's just funny how the day I made the new sound, that's when acid came and totally changed my life in a bad way for a little bit, but then a very, very good way.
Right.
Now looking back, maturity and growth.
So it was all worth it, basically.
All worth it. I would never recommend it to anyone, because it's the scariest shit you'll ever do in your life. But everyone's to each their own.
True. Very true. So we were talking about a little bit earlier, just metal, pure metal, and how you got from there to this more indie pop stuff. And so we were talking about that Skeggs concert you went to earlier, and I think they're your favorite band right now. Is that right?
Favorite band.
Yeah.
I got the Skeg. Can you see it?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
I got Skeg excited right here.
Awesome.
Yeah, man, they're my favorite band of all time. It's super cool.
Yeah. So as someone who listens to bands like Skeggs, and assuming you still probably frequent the garage type genre, how exactly did you find yourself going from that to, I want to start rapping, because that was kind of your intro into music. What made you do that instead of trying to pick up a guitar or something for the first time?
So I started rapping before I ever found Skeggs and all them.
Right.
So I started rapping. It's funny because saying it because I was so young. I started rapping at like 12.
Okay.
Well, and the first like garage type of surf rock band I ever found was Hockey Dad.
Okay.
And
Cool.
I was like 15 at the time, and I found them on YouTube. Their song called "I Need a Woman."
Nice.
And then ever since then, I was like, whoa, like this is what like this is my vibe. This is like my people right here,
Mhm.
right? And this is like my tribe, I guess. And so yeah, man. And then from there I went and found like Tame Impala and then like, like Dune Rats and Skaggs, of course. First song I heard
Definitely.
of Skaggs was Up in the Clouds.
Oh, cool. Great song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super cool. And the lyrics really captivated me. But
Yeah.
yeah, at the same time, I was rapping and I just like never decided to pick up a guitar. I always thought it was too hard.
Yeah, me too.
Um, I always thought guitar was too hard. So I was like, oh, what's the point of me in trying when I'm like going on tour and stuff while
Yeah.
doing like rap music, right? So, and then it just got to a point where I was like, my producer of Koltar, my producer's name is Koltar Got Bounced,
Mhm.
and he always would say how funny it was that like every time I showed him a reference for like, hey, let's make a beat like this, or hey, let's do vocals like this on the chorus or ad libs or whatever, it would always be referencing an indie rock song or something. It would never be rap. I'll never bring him a reference that was rap. And so that's when he suggested, like, yo, why don't we just try an indie pop song? And then we
Yeah.
did the Candyland song. But yeah, like Australian like garage is like huge
That's
influence
awesome.
to me.
Yeah. Totally agree. That is a great genre. Super hot right now. I'm like,
It's amazing.
yeah, really into it. So
Yeah.
it's interesting that like, so would you say that most of your inspiration comes from other bands like that are outside the indie pop sort of genre?
Yeah. It's like it's funny because like Skaggs is like my favorite band ever.
Yeah.
Right? Like ever. Love them so much. But I wouldn't say that they like inspire me musically.
Okay.
They just maybe inspire me in the spirit of music.
Yeah.
Because if you listen to Skaggs songs like New York, California, or like all those songs like Fun and stuff like that, like all their old stuff and even the new stuff too, is like very simple, very simplistic.
Yes.
And I take that really into the studio with me too, because it's like I don't focus too much on the way things are portrayed in the song and they're said. I focus on how it makes you feel. Right. And so like I want people to feel the same way I feel about how Skaggs makes me feel.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
And so carefree and just living life and loving life. And I started playing the bass, so I'm trying to incorporate that more into music. And yeah, but biggest inspirations outside of genres, they're probably in the genre, to be honest. Like Foster the People.
Awesome. Yeah.
And Mark Foster is like my favorite songwriter ever. And then there's this really cool indie band. I think you would like them a lot. They're called Plums.
Okay. I have not heard of them actually. No.
Awesome.
Okay.
Dude.
I'll check them out.
I'll send you some Plums after, dude.
Yeah,
They're
for
awesome.
sure.
And so yeah, the singer Sam Glick and Mark Foster are my two biggest inspirations. Like if you listen to them and then you listen to me, you'll be like, holy shit, these guys, like, this is just emerging. It's a baby. It's like if Mark Foster and Sam Glick had a baby, that's code. that's known.
Yeah.
New vocal sound. It's cool.
Well, that's cool. I always do like to hear like an artist's influences in their own music, having heard their influences. It's always like a fun game almost.
For sure.
Yeah. So you were talking a little bit about recording, and I'm curious, as a mostly solo artist, what does your process, like creative process, look like from like songwriting to actually recording the song, like from start to finish?
So it varies. Like if I'm recording at my house or if I'm recording in Vancouver with my producer Bounce.
Okay.
But normally it's like the same. So same kind of idea. So we'll always start off with a bass line. Now with the newer music, we'll start off with bass lines because I'm at a place now where I can hold my own on the bass.
Okay.
So I create all like my own bass lines and stuff, and then we'll fill the drums in there, and then none of us know how to play guitar for shit. So we'll bring in like, I don't know, like my friend Alvin or we'll pull up a sample or something that's in the same key. And then what I'll do is like we'll arrange it a little bit, and then I'll just go up to the mic like this, and then I have nothing written or anything, and I'll just start singing. Start doing melodies. Whatever the first ones come to my head are always the ones that I always run with because they're the most initially the catchiest.
Okay.
And then just sit down, put lyrics to it, and then arrange it. And then we never spend more than like 3 hours on a song.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
Everything's done within like 3 hours.
Nice. So most of the time you lay down like a bass line and a melody before even coming up with the lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like sometimes I'll have like something like I have this album that's going to come out probably early next year.
Okay.
And it like has a common theme amongst it. So I always had like a little bit of an idea of what I wanted to do with the records when I went into it. But yeah, for the most part, it's just like bass line, drums, then vocal melodies, and then lyrics come.
Okay. I always love to hear about that process because it's always just so different from person to person, That's really cool.
For sure.
So, and then speaking of like your releases too, at the time of recording your recent EP, Deja, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
okay.
Deja.
All right. So that's been out for about a week now at the time of recording. And if I'm not mistaken, that's like the first like collection of songs you've released since your first album in 2020. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Exactly.
So, and I was noticing the only new song in there is Honeycomb, which, thanks in part to that video you put out for it, is getting like a good bit of the spotlight, which is good. But what made you want to re-release the other 4 songs as part of the EP and not just put Honeycomb out as its own single?
It was like a marketing tactic.
Okay.
So you release like, especially like at this young of like at this start of like a career that's like, it's like, it's gaining traction, but it's not like the biggest thing. The best thing you can do is release singles one by one.
Okay.
So we released everything as a single up until Honeycomb, and then we put Honeycomb as the focus track on the EP. So basically we just like released it as the EP's single.
Nice. Yeah. So there's a method behind it all.
There's a method behind the madness, baby.
Yeah. Awesome. And then you were talking about like your label a little bit. So just over a year ago, you signed a deal with R&R Records. And then back in May, I was looking at Instagram and so I got the chance to meet with some other labels in Toronto, which is super exciting. Whatever came of that, if you don't mind me asking?
So the deal with R&R, which is like a sub-label of Warner Records, we just had, it was just the Deja EP. So now I'm like independent. So now we're like, shopping around, but we have a few more singles coming out that are independent releases.
Nice.
So like four singles coming out. And then we have plans to sign up with someone else. I can't talk too much about it because my manager would beat my ass.
Yeah, that's cool.
But other than that, yeah. I'll tell you off camera for sure. But yeah.
Well, that's really cool. So you got some stuff in the works, then you've got a direction.
Yeah. Okay. We got some stuff in the works. We had a couple offers and one of them looks really nice. So
nice.
Probably going to be swimming, taking the canoe over to that aisle.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's cool. That must be really exciting for you.
Super stoked, man. I'm super stoked.
Yeah. So you mentioned briefly like Vancouver. I've been asking people a lot, about where they make their music recently and whether they think environment, has a real effect on what they create. So just to recite one of your lyrics here, my name is Known Boy, Cody for short. Cold heart, I'm a man of the north, which great lyric, by the way.
Thank you.
But Vancouver is a beautiful area, great city, in my opinion. Would you consider yourself to be a product of your environment, or do you think it at least plays a role in what you create?
Absolutely. And so it's funny that you mentioned this because we were just in LA. Couldn't make nothing, dude. Couldn't make nothing. It was terrible. And then we were in Toronto like last month, and we had like studio time booked at the 6th studio. Just sat there and couldn't create anything. It was weird, dude. It was really weird. But like I live in a small town called Mission. It's like an hour outside of Vancouver.
All right.
And this is where I feel most at home. But like I feel really comfortable in the Vancouver area making music out there. And like, cause it's just so scenic, man. Like I look out my window and there's beautiful mountains outside. I mean, I live across from a prison, but other than that, it's gorgeous,
Yeah.
It's sweet, man. And so like, yeah, it's cool. It's like, I feel really passionate about whatever you're comfortable with, where you make the best art.
Yeah.
So at my producer studio, which is in like South Vancouver.
Okay.
I feel super comfortable there. It's almost like a second home. So we go in there and there's no windows in the studio. And we just like, turn off the lights or have these little streaming lights going. And yeah, man, we just create, we just lock in, and it's cool because it's like a no judgment zone either. With the guys I work with, who's in the session is like me, my producer Bounce, and then my manager Coldar.
Okay.
And there's no judgment. Everyone just throws ideas at the wall and we just do our thing.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah. So I totally agree. Like environment plays like a huge part into the creation of art.
Definitely. So I was seeing too that like in some of your music videos, you have a lot of like the outdoors, a lot of nature. Is that an intentional thing? You try to incorporate like nature within your videos? For
sure. Yeah. Cause like BC is so flush with nature.
Yeah.
So this is like someplace I love to show off. And this is home for me.
Right.
Like everywhere in BC is just so beautiful. We have like the desert and then we have like crazy mountains, and then on the Vancouver Island we have a rainforest. It's like
Wow.
everything you need is like here.
Yeah.
It's expensive to live here though, but it's gorgeous, man. It's gorgeous. And so like I feel like I want to represent that in everywhere I go,
Yeah.
especially my hometown Mission.
Definitely.
You know,
Definitely.
like it's a very small town. We have one high school, but we've had like a lot of big products of Mission to come out here and like do like big shit. Like Carly Rae Jepsen, you know, Call Me Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's from Mission.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
he went
crazy.
to the same high school as I went to, and
Damn.
then you know Pao Fu.
Yes.
Yeah, so him and I went to high school together.
Oh, cool.
I'm pretty sure you know Lights. Do you know who Lights is?
I don't.
Okay, she's a pretty big act out here in Canada.
Okay.
But she's from here as well. I'm pretty sure she's from Mission.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, and then I'm from Mission. Hopefully we get to that level. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah, it's sweet stuff, man. I love it here. I love my home.
Cool. It's like a little powerhouse.
A little powerhouse.
Yeah.
So people always say they're like something in the water is out
Yeah.
there. I'm like, damn straight, baby.
That's right.
Yeah,
And you were talking about Pao Fu a little bit. You've done a few collabs with him. You've done some collabs with other artists. Do you consider collaboration essential to the type of music that you create?
yeah. To me, like, it's funny because like a lot of the bands you and I listen to, it's like they just kind of work with themselves.
Yeah.
You know, because there's not a lot of feature, but especially in the indie pop scene, it's super cool just to reach out to other people and get their voices on your song, you know. And him being like so close to home is awesome. And he's a really good friend of mine too. So it's just awesome, like having us like always collaborate. We have a whole album together.
That's great.
Yeah, it's unreleased. It's coming out soon, hopefully.
Is he? He's not still based in the Vancouver area, is he?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he lives like 20 minutes from me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's
he's
really
super cool, man. He's a super humble guy, dude. He's awesome.
Excellent. And speaking of, community typically is super important just in music in general. So aside from the collaborations you've done, how would you say being part of this little community has helped you in your creative process?
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely helps promoting, and it definitely helps with the creation of the art, which is cool because like I have a friend named Mystic and he lives out in New York.
Okay.
He's originally from Colorado, I believe. And so I met him when I was like 18, dude, when I was like still rapping.
Nice.
He's rapping, and we just became internet friends, man. And then we made a couple songs here and there. I have a song called Slip Away with him. And yeah, it's super cool. Just like whenever you send something to someone and then they send something back and you're like, yes, this is it, man. This is it. Or like, you know, like I have a friend named Grant from LA. His name goes by Yoji Money.
Cool.
And he produces for like Felly. I don't know if you heard of Felly or Healy and all these like pretty big like LA based artists.
Cool.
Super cool. And it's just like we were just in LA with him too. Yeah, and it's just super cool, man. Like to create art with other people who you've never met in real life.
Definitely.
You know, you meet online or whatever, and then you really start to like get like really good friendships with these people, and it's super cool. And then and then you meet them in real life, and it's like, whoa, you're shorter than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's important to me, man. It's important to me is having a little online community of like people that will help out or that's just support you, because it's a really good way to just keep pushing yourself, even if the days that you feel down or whatever. You know, my friend Grant will be like, nah, man, you're fucking dope, dude. Don't even care what they say. I'm like, okay, sick.
Yeah.
You know, you just keep pushing through and keep making art, man.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's great. And how do you think you would compare like the collaborative aspect of some of your releases to just working completely solo? I guess, do you have a preference or just like, they're just like pros and cons of each?
See, like, I feel like I can get way deeper on my music if it's just a solo release.
Okay.
Like my favorite song off the EP, Deja, is Don't Walk Away, for Time Is Just a Lie. That's my favorite one, just because it means the most to me. And it's and to me, it's like the most indie rock sound.
Yeah.
You know, and but yeah, like I love working with other people, but I feel like I can get my point across more or get my story out more if it's just by myself. You know, because then it's 100% me and it's no other voices in it, and there's no other birds chirping in my ear. It's just the thoughts of Cody, which is cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like my album that's going to come out maybe later this year, early next year, it only has one feature on it, and it's Pao Fu. And we didn't even make the song together. I just made it and then had an open verse and I sent it to him. He's like,
wow.
do it. Okay, cool. Yeah. So everything is myself, which is, you know, and that just feels like what 100% what Known is, or 100% what Cody is.
Yeah.
Which is super cool.
Definitely. Yeah. And so would you say that typically the songs you do just by yourself are more meaningful to you, or do you not really?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The songs I make by myself are definitely the more they mean the most, and I can put the more effort into like the feeling.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I can translate the feeling better.
We were just talking about music videos a little bit, and they can definitely, help that feeling along, or at least help the listener to see maybe what your original intent was, just for yourself on the song. And you have quite a few music videos out at the moment. Obviously, the most recent of which being that one for Honeycomb. A lot of times artists will stick to a certain style or like aesthetic for their videos, but I think there's a good bit of variety across them for you. And I think that's mostly a benefit. I guess it can be more of a challenge at times, but is that variety something you try to create, or does it just happen depending on like who you work with or what the song's for?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it just happens with like who we work with.
Okay.
Because me personally, I prefer like the VHS Super 8 film camera look.
Oh, for
I
sure.
prefer like shit that makes me feel something.
Yeah.
Makes me feel nostalgic,
Yeah.
And that's when like the whole Australian garage sound plays its part into like the visual aspect of my music, because the first video I remember falling in love with was I Need a Woman by Hockey Dad. And they're just driving around on their bikes, like on their skateboards in their hometown. And to me, that means so much more than someone who goes and does this crazy $25,000 video of them doing all this crazy shit. To me, that's like, to me, it's not impressive.
Right.
If you can make me feel something, that's all that matters. And typically those videos are like the VHS, cheap, maybe $300 on a budget.
Yeah.
That type of stuff. And so like personally, me, I love the VHS stuff. But it really depends who we work with.
Definitely.
I'm a terrible editor. So I've tried editing. I'm shooting my own videos and editing them. I'm just terrible at it, So we always get people, and then obviously some more ideas flow into it. And then it goes away from its original vision here and there. But yeah, it's super cool.
That's something I definitely do find happening, like working with somebody else on a project, just being able to bounce ideas off of somebody, especially with something like a video, and maybe they're more knowledgeable about it. It's just the final product is so cool.
Absolutely. And like we just shot a video with my friend Elijah Blonde. He's super dope. You guys should do an interview. He's super cool. He's from Courtney, which is on Vancouver Island.
Oh, cool.
But he lives in Vancouver now. It's like one of the most talented dudes I've ever met, and he's awesome. But we have this song coming out called Himalayas. And the original plan was to shoot it all on VHS, like up in like the bush somewhere. And the girl who was supposed to shoot the video, she couldn't make it anymore. So they got their friend to shoot it. And we went up there. It was full production, huge, big red camera. There's all these like monitors everywhere. Turns out to be my favorite video though.
Awesome.
Because to me, it still translated the feeling of like what this really is out here in BC. It's like a song about the mountains and just being carefree, and that's what the vibe is out here. And and the video that he made for it is incredible, and it's just like, even though it's high quality and it's not VHS or whatever, it's still really, really translate what it feels like to be here.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is super cool. So to me, it's like whether it's VHS or high quality stuff, it just really has to hit the vibe.
Yeah, I see what you mean. The first one that came to mind for me when you started talking about other music videos was Skeg's Bush TV. He's just like, Toby's like on like a bike or something like that, just riding for most of the song. And I think that captures a feeling for sure. And that's like the feeling of their environment.
Absolutely. Yeah. See, like when I look at Skeg's videos, it's like, fuck, that's Australian.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Australian bush type of stuff. And like, especially with like Up in the Clouds video and stuff, it's very carefree. They're just in the studio. They're just walking down a road, and they're, they're jumping in the water or whatever. It's just like, to me, that's the shit I love.
Definitely.
Because that's the shit I can relate to.
Yeah.
I can't relate to some crazy art video. Someone doing some crazy shit with a big budget, man.
Yeah. Speaking of Australia, actually, that just reminded me. I noticed that, at least on Spotify, your top 5 locations for listens, 2 of them are in Australia, Sydney and Melbourne.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. So how does like that feel for you? And then I think there was only one in Canada, and it was Toronto. So like, what do you think, is the explanation for that? I mean, the scope of known is pretty far reaching, it seems like.
Kind of crazy, right? Like here, like, I don't know if you can see it because it's like reversed, or is it too bright?
Oh no, I can see it.
Sydney's 1, Melbourne's 5. And then Brisbane's number 9. See,
really?
Yeah. See, like it goes Sydney, Los Angeles, Chicago, Toronto, and Melbourne. It's crazy. Canadian City, only one of them is in my top 5. Not even Vancouver, not even the place I'm from.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It's weird. Yeah, I don't know where the whole Australian love came from, but they love me on Spotify over there, which is funny. I know for a fact though, we were put on like one of their like big Australian playlists called Front Left.
Okay.
So that probably would have helped with the streams a lot, but they keep listening, they keep coming back, man, which is cool, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Because it's like all the music I listen to is from there. It's like, oh, I'm one of them now.
Yeah. You'll have to go. You'll have to do a couple shows in Australia. It looks like you'd be welcomed.
Absolutely. That'd be so cool.
Yeah,
that'd
man.
be so amazing.
Yeah. So I guess it completely changed the topic for a second. You mentioned you started as rapping and you still do a little bit, but as an artist, would you consider yourself to be more rapper or more singer? Because you've definitely proven to be proficient at each of them.
Yeah. I wouldn't call myself a rapper anymore at all. I would just be like complete singer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And like whenever people ask for the genre, I'm just like, oh, it's like indie pop or whatever. Yeah, I'm trying to get the rap narrative like out of there.
Oh yeah, so you're not like for this album coming out, I guess. I don't know how much you can say, but is there any rap on it?
There's one verse.
Okay.
One verse, but it's not even like I'm like it's like I'm more like gliding with the beat, you know, with like a little voice.
Yeah, we haven't talked about this yet, but you just had, I think it was your first headliner back since 2020.
First show back.
First,
dude,
wow.
Man, it was awesome, dude.
Big stuff.
So like the last headline show I did was 2019.
Oh, damn. Okay.
That was the last headlining one I did. But I did like opening slots here and there.
Sure.
And then I played like 2 shows in 2020 when it first like started. And then I remember like the last show I played was at this club in Vancouver. And this was back when I was still rapping.
Okay.
And I was supposed to go to Europe on tour with Snack the Ripper.
Wow.
May of 2020. Right. Damn, and so me and the guy who's going to go as well, the other opener, we were at this show together and we were both playing and we're like, he's like, dude, I don't think it's happening. Like there's this virus or whatever. And I'm like, no, man, trust. It's going to be good. And then a week later, everything shuts down. I'm like, okay, obviously we're not going.
Right.
But yeah, so that was like the last show I did. But my last headlining show, it was like in Mission. So this really small town. It was like, I think maybe like 65 people showed up. The majority of them were my friends, But then, dude, this last show we did, I headlined this like local festival.
Okay.
Like 400 people were there, which is crazy for me. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. But it's cool because like ever since like the new sound and stuff, I just gained like a whole lot of new fans.
Awesome.
A whole lot of new fans. And it's cool. It was crazy. Like when I do local shows, I'm like, okay, it's just going to be everyone I know is going to come.
Right.
But I was there and people were like, oh, I came from Vancouver Island. I came from here. I saw you on TikTok. I saw you there. I listened to your music. I didn't even know you're from here. And they found out about the show. I was like, what? Like, this is crazy. Like a lot of people came who I had no association with prior to them coming to the show, which blew my mind, which is like, it was so cool, man.
Yeah.
The show went really well and it was awesome.
That's cool. Do you go out of your way to interact with fans like off the stage?
Like after the show? Or? Yeah, after the show, I like to stick around. Like at the end of the show, I was like, oh, we have merch here. Like come like say what's up and buy some merch and I'll be here just chatting. And everyone came and it was super cool. There was like a huge line of just people just like coasting around the merch table, just waiting to talk.
Cool.
This is insane, dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm excited to go on tour one day.
Definitely. You think that's going to happen with like possibly like this deal and album and everything, or?
Yeah, that's part of it.
Okay. Sick. That's exciting.
In your city, man. I'll be in your city eventually.
Yeah. Awesome. So like US then and probably so like a North American tour, basically.
Yeah. I'm actually planning on moving to LA later this year.
Okay.
Yeah, just for a little bit. So I'm probably gonna try to move down in October and see how I feel until Christmas.
Yeah.
And then if I don't like it, I'll just pack my car up, drive back. But,
yeah.
It's only like a day drive. It's like 24 hours.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But if I like it, I'll just fly back for Christmas and just stay down there, keep all of my stuff down there.
Sure. So yeah, wow. So you got a plan for that. And then, cause you did mention earlier that like when you were in LA the last time, it was kind of tough to create stuff. So are you worried about that aspect of it at all?
A little bit, but I just feel like, if I'm living out like a hotel type of situation, that's when it's hard because I don't have comfort. Yeah. But if I have my own room and I can have my own setup and I can digest what's going on a little bit, that's when things get easier and more comfortable.
That's cool.
For sure.
That's cool. Yeah. Do you have like an in with a studio down there or anything like that?
Oh yeah. So like the people I might do my little deal with, they have like a whole big full studio. It's free to use for artists and stuff. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. So just talking live still, in a lot of ways, live performances, for your typical like guitar, bass, drums kind of setup are simple. All you have to really do is like show up, play your instrument, I guess bare minimum. But like for recording artists like yourself, when it's just you up there, it can be more open-ended, and I guess it might present a little more of a challenge. So how do you prepare for and plan out your live sets?
So when it comes to like the set list, I just make sure all the songs flow really nice.
Right.
And then, so I think we did a pretty good job of that. And then, when it comes to actual, like the technical side of the live, we'll have like my DJ, because we can't afford the band yet. We're still balling on the budget, but, we'll have like the DJ, and then we'll have, my audio set up. So I just run it through like, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up. We run it through this thing.
Yeah.
The Apollo.
Yeah.
And so I just bring that to like my live shows. And you can just plug in like an XLR
Sick.
in it, and then so like a mic or whatever, and then he runs all your effects through it, so you sound like the way on the track. I can sing, but I'm not like the craziest singer, but like I can make it sound pretty decent with like a bare minimum of auto tune, and then some reverb and all that stuff here and there.
Cool.
And then we bring a guitarist named Alvin out to the shows, and he shreds live, and he does all the crazy guitar solos that
awesome.
No songs actually have guitar solos, but he does them anyways. I'm like, okay, sounds sick though. But yeah, that's I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah. Are you thinking about maybe putting like guitar solos in some of the new songs you're planning on releasing?
Yeah, so for the album, we have this song called "Hold My Hand, Maria," and it's just like this one. It's my favorite. I'll send it to you after. It's my favorite song I've ever made, and it has this beautiful guitar solo at the end. It's awesome.
Awesome. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. And so this is interesting. So you mentioned auto tune. To put a time on it, it was like mid 2000s maybe. Like there was this whole thing where like, oh, if you use auto tune, like you're not cool because it's like you're not really singing, But I think now maybe our version of that is like pitch correction. And so, and now that, we have that, auto tune is kind of like an instrument in itself, it's like depending on how you use it. And so I guess, what are your thoughts on that?
Auto tune, to me, I love the sound of auto tune. So so not like the T-Pain, like going all crazy type of thing. Like it's not Travis Scott, but I like the way I have my auto tune setting at 20, which is relatively low. So like, if you want Travis Scott, you're at like the lower the number, the higher the auto tune, right? So like, if you want like some T-Pain stuff, you'd be at like a 0 or a 5, but I'm at 20. So I'm like all the way up here. I just like the way the auto-tune makes my voice glide. Yeah. It sounds smooth and it sounds silky and it glides through the song. It makes everything kind of just ride the waves. And like you said, it's like pitch correction for sure. Right. And it's just like pitch correction and it's doesn't do anything crazy. It just like will slide me up if I go up, slide me down. Mm-hmm. I'm still doing it live. I'm still doing it vocally, of course. And it sounds like every time I record and then no one else hears it, right? And it's just me recording in the room. And I look back like, how's that sound? And everyone's like, dude, it sounds great, And they haven't even heard the final take with auto-tune or anything. But cool. I have like minuscule auto-tune on it, and then I put reverb and all the regular compression and EQs and stuff on it. But make it sound all pretty and ethereal. And there we go. And it's cool because like now with this type of technology with like the Apollo and you can make everything sound like the way it does on your track, and you're still doing it live. So it's not like you're just singing over your songs. It's like you're still doing it live, which is super cool. Yeah. You talked about for your live performances, like until you can afford that band, but you notice like, and we talked about this on a different interview that I did, but artists like Tyler, the Creator, he's got like crazy like horns and stuff in the background of some of his songs. And like, he could totally afford to hire a whole band and take them on tour with him, but he doesn't, he just gets really into like set design and stuff. And so is that something you see yourself getting into, or do you kind of do a lot of that now? Yeah, like when it comes to like the band would be cool because like the album I'm releasing is very instrumental based. Okay. It's not as like synthy or not as programmed into like the DAW that we use or whatever, how to describe it. But it's very like live instrumentation. So that's when we do that. We're gonna definitely like need a band because it would kind of look weird if it was just like like imagine like if like say Skaggs just like play their tracks and Benny was up there singing. It'd be kind of weird, but for right now it works just with doing the track and then have a guitarist and then have the vocals live. Cool. Yeah, sick. And like kind of like I mentioned before, when you have like that whole band setup, it almost takes
some of the stress off of performing a little bit, because you're up there with a band. It gives people something to look at that's more than just you.
True, very true. But here's the thing: when I get in front of a lot of people, I get fucking weird, man. And I start saying shit like I messed up like this one song because there's a break in my song called "Famous Rapper," which is off Deja. There's like a little break, little 5-second break in between one of the lines, and I just was like, "Here comes the tickle monster," or some shit like that. I said it live, and then I completely forgot what I was supposed to sing after, and everyone was just laughing, having a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I love performing. I love performing. I don't get stressed about it at all.
Oh, that's
I'm just
sick.
like genuinely 100% me up there, and then I don't know, people find it entertaining.
Awesome.
It's kind of cool.
That's really funny, actually, that you say that. What do you think is your favorite ad lib? To put on a song?
I have a lot of ad libs where I'm like, I just laugh, like that type of stuff.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Or
Yeah.
I love that type of stuff. And that's another influence of this band, the band Plums.
Okay.
They have this album called EP02. And there's that's where I got those ad libs from, was them just screaming random shit.
Really?
I love it, dude. And it's just I don't know, captivates me. It's weird.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah. And that's funny too, because when I was doing some research, doing some listening and watching videos and stuff, I was noticing, and that's kind of what made me think of that question. I'm like, these are some kind of cool ad libs. These are a little different. Yeah.
They're out there. The more you get to know me, you're you'd probably go back home. Say you came and spent a week with me out here. You'd go back home and be like, that kid's fucking weird. He's a fucking weird kid. But yeah, I don't know. Take pride in being yourself, I guess.
That's not how my brother described you, as just being weird.
Really?
But
I'm pretty tame when it's
okay, yeah.
When I first meet you, you know, the more you get to know me, it's hey there, brother.
Yeah. I'll ask one more question. How's that sound? And we can just do an outro and stuff.
Absolutely, bro.
Okay, cool, man. So this one's a little more. It keeps it a little more broad, kind of out there. So. You just put out a new EP, just had a great show, a lot of good happening right now, and you've got plans, you got singles, albums. What's the next thing you're looking forward to most?
Next thing I'm looking forward to most in the short term or the long term?
That's a good question. Both. Do both. We got time.
Short term, I'm really looking forward to maybe penning something on this deal. But really, really excited for these next 4 singles to come out. They're my 4 favorite songs.
Awesome.
They come out and it's cool that we get to do it independent and on our own release time. And for the long term, I'm just excited to get down, do shows, go on tour and meet a lot of people that I wouldn't meet if I just stayed in my room. You know?
Definitely.
So I'm super excited to get out there and meet people and just experience life through music, which is super cool. Super cool. Yeah.
Good stuff. The new EP from Known called Deja came out on July 22nd, so go stream that if you haven't already and watch that new music video for Honeycomb while you're at it. Also, keep an eye out for more from him very soon. Cody, it's been great. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
For sure.
In a little while, how you keeping yourself?